came out last night that part of the biography, Spare, which I'm just like, spare me, honestly. He's
spare us all, please.
Like, poor me, the way he's going on. Anyway.
Yeah, but it's well known that it was called in royal circles for centuries, the heir and the spare.
Just,
if you had two kids.
He's not a royal anymore. Well, I suppose he is royal.
Because like the autobiography, or the biography that was written about the two of them, which they both 100% claim to not have been involved in, which they definitely were, because I've read it, is called Finding Freedom, and that was about like, yeah, you know, the strength of leaving. This is all like, poor me. But in it, he basically talks about an altercation where William hit him and he fell to the ground and he had a back injury. But I do think it's important to remember that it's not just the future King of England hitting someone, it's two brothers having an argument. I'm not saying it's right. I mean, it sounds horrendous, but I don't know, is it right to be airing this? Like, it's literally like airing dirty laundry. And they just did the Netflix series, which we've been talking about non-stop. Like, give it a rest for a second.
Well, they can't. They're tied into he's tied into a 4-book deal, and he's tied into
for privacy.
Whatever.
Do you know, this is what I don't get.
Can I
don't understand it.
Why did the altercation happen between William and Harry? It was in kind of a cottage on the grounds of Kensington, and William came over and it was an argument over Meghan.
Yeah. And
he grabbed him and pushed him.
It is to do with Meghan. And I think there definitely is a lot of things that happened during the run-up to the wedding that we just don't know about. Like, we know about the kind of confrontation between Kate and Meghan. That's all we ever heard about. But there was always people saying there's more things that happened on the run-up. And I think the two couples were just really at each other's throats on the run-up. And Meghan did come in and want things to be done differently. It doesn't make her a bad person, but she definitely was stronger, I think, maybe than what William and Kate had expected. And William was trying to stand his ground a bit. I think that's why they were having the arguments. But what you're saying there, like the privacy thing, it's ironic that he's doing these interviews with journalists on media channels, but continues to say the media are skewering everything and they're all against him. Like, it doesn't really make sense. And I'm not, by the way, Team William or Team Harry. It's just frustrating to see the constant complaining all the time. But then he's like, here's my book tour, read my book, here's my Netflix series, but also leave me alone. I don't want anything to do with this.
I would imagine the questions are pre-planned. The answers are pretty much pre-planned as well.
But
so anyway, listen.
There was one bit that I just found very interesting that has been released. So the Guardian got a copy of Spare and they read it and they put this. And it says, this is after the funeral of Prince Philip in April 21. So Charles, this is what Harry says, stood between his warring sons, looking up at our flushed faces. And he said, please, boys, Harry quotes his father as saying, don't make my final years a misery. That's what he said between his two.
And that's what I thought about the Queen.
Did he take it on board?
But that's what I thought about the Queen before she died. Like, the stuff she had to put up with towards the end. Like, I'd say she was just like, oh, just finish me off. Honestly, like, the arguments and the fights and the shows and the Oprah interviews, I'd say she was just like, just let it be.
And
I think
then
Charles
Liz
is in that. Yeah, top of it all.
OK, listen. Yeah,
we'll be watching, though. We'll be glued.